Welcome back to Living in Woodstock. I'm your local real estate agent, Eric Marshall, and today we're going to be talking about key step for buyers, closing day. I'm going to be sharing the 5 essential steps to make sure your closing day goes smoothly. So step number 1, and you typically want to do this a day or two before closing, but it's going to be called the final walkthrough. This is your last chance to make sure that everything that you guys negotiated is on the property or in the property. Also, to make sure that the condition is in the agreed upon state. You're going to want to check that all the agreed upon repairs have been made and that everything is as you expected. Step number 2, reviewing your closing documents. Again, this step is usually actually the day or two before closing, but you're going to sit down with your lawyer and go through all the documents. If you're doing this in person with your lawyer, prep those fingers because you're going to be signing a lot of paperwork. Step number 3 is going to be making sure that you obtain home insurance. Again, this is another step that should be taken before the actual closing day. You're going to want to make sure that your policy is in place and effective on the day of closing, and you're likely going to need to provide proof of insurance to your lender before closing. This step will help you protect your investment from day one. Step number 4, arranging the utilities. You're going to want to make the calls to each of the utility companies. Hopefully by this point, somebody such as your real estate agent, your lawyer, or even just maybe Googling it, you should know which companies those are by now in your certain area that you're buying. If you're interested in Woodstock or need to know Woodstock, I just made a video about that a couple weeks ago, so make sure you check that out. So finally, the last step, getting the keys. This one here is fairly obvious, but you're going to want to make sure that you get all the keys to any of the doors throughout the property. If there's a garage door, make sure you get the garage door openers or any access codes if they're a keypad. Yeah, you're going to want to be able to access every part of your property. And also don't forget about mail keys. Pretty typical one for people to forget about, especially if it's a community mailbox. So you're going to want that, as well as any gates or storage sheds or etc. that's on the property. And this little bonus tip here related to the keys, highly recommend, and you'll probably hear this a lot from lawyers as well, is to change the actual locks the day of closing when you do finally get those keys. Either change the locks, or if you're lucky enough to get one of those wiser locks where you can just change the key using the little insert. You're going to want to do this just for added peace of mind, to know that nobody else has the keys to your house, especially if you know the property was tenanted in the past. Who knows how many copies of the keys people could have made. So it's always best to just make a new set or get all your locks changed so nobody but yourself has access to your house. So there you have it. That's my top 5 essential steps to closing the deal on the buyer side. Stay tuned, and I'll do another one for sellers. And if you're interested in moving to Woodstock, make sure you check out the link in the description to book a meeting with me. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and subscribe to learn everything there is to know about living in Woodstock.